Hey, how's it going guys? Here's a quick video to update you guys on some of the interesting developments in the market last week. Especially I want to discuss why the bond market and dollar index are sending completely different signals in the stock market. Also, I will have a quick update on gold and Bitcoin too. So please make sure you watch the entire video until the end and don't miss out anything, because there's a lot of important information in this market updates. Alright, let's get started. The S&P 500 had a pretty good week last week. We had a strong breakout on Monday, and it has been hovering around 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level, consolidating for the next big move. Last week, I made a video talk about the typical 3 stages of a bear market, and I received quite a lot of good positive feedback. So thank you guys so much for all of your encouraging comments, and I'm truly happy to hear my contents have been valuable to you guys so far. If you haven't watched the previous video yet, I strongly suggest you watch that video first before you watch this one, because a lot of things I'm gonna talk about today will relate to the previous market update video. I will put the link in the description below. In the previous market update, we mentioned that we're most likely at the end of the hope stage as we were approaching the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level. Historical data shows us that the typical retracement level for any hope stages are either 50% or 61.8%. And now for the S&P 500, it broke the 61% retracement level and it stays above it for 3 days. Also, the volatility index, the VIX, stays below the key level of 31 for the whole week. Both of the signals are definitely bullish for the S&P 500. That's why we hear a lot of people asking, oh, are we back in the new bull market now? Is the bear market officially over? However, I don't think we're out of the woods yet. And here's why. There are 2 important questions we should ask ourselves now. First question. We have always used the S&P 500 as the benchmark to represent the entire US stock market. But is today's S&P still a good representation after COVID-19 crash in 2020? Let's take a look at this chart. This chart shows how concentrated the S&P 500 over the top 5 companies in the US throughout the history. Right now, the top 5 most valuable companies in the US are Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Google, and Facebook. As we can see, even before the COVID-19 crash, back in January, the S&P 500 was already in the 2000 dot-com bubble territory. Since the COVID-19 crash and the Federal Reserve printed the trillions of dollars to help the market, the S&P capitalization has grown even more concentrated on those top 5 companies. Right now, in May, this concentration is already more than 25% and getting closer to 30% of the entire S&P index. This is the highest level we've ever seen since the S&P was created. The trend of this S&P concentration has gone completely parabolic. If you stay in the financial market long enough, you will know that no matter what market, anything goes parabolic will always end pretty bad. And this is not even the worst part. The worst part is, because of this extreme concentration over only 5 companies, S&P 500 is no longer reflecting the full picture of US stock market. If we remove these top 5 companies, the rest of the companies in S&P index are still in the bear market and way underperform the entire index. So this is the first question we should ask ourselves. How accurate this S&P 500 index is reflecting the entire US stock market? Then the second question we should ask ourselves, if S&P 500 is not a good indicator to help us navigate the financial market, then what should we look at? If you are new to the financial market, there is one extremely important thing you should know, is that the bond market is the market which will always show you a much more reliable picture of what is going on. The stock market is the total sum of human emotions and behaviors, while the bond market is the total sum of the hard economic truth. In the previous video, I mentioned that the 2 most important markets to watch for the next 4 to 6 weeks are the 2-year Treasury yield and the US dollar index. Now, let's take a look at how they performed last week and see what are the signals these 2 markets are showing us. First, the 2-year yield chart. Even though the S&P 500 had a pretty good week last week, and it broke the 61% retracement level, the bond market seems doesn't quite agree with the stock market. The 2-year yield is basically flat, hovering around the lower bound of the range, and it seems ready to break the range and head to 0. This is a very bearish sign for the stock market. In the healthy bull market, we should see the bond yield goes up with the stock market. It is a sign showing that the investors are more willing to take risk. But when the yield crashes and stays low, like right now what we're seeing on the 2-year yield chart, it shows investors, especially the smart money institutional investors, choose to stay away from the underlying risk in the stock market and go for safer assets. So with no doubt, the bond market shows we're still in the bear market. Now let's take a look at the dollar index chart. If the stock market is indeed in a healthy bull market, we want to see a weaker dollar. If the dollar stays strong, it shows that the demand for dollar is still high, and that is not a good sign for a healthy economic recovery. For example, back in the 08-09 bear market, it clearly shows that a stronger dollar always means a lower equity price. If the stock market wants to have a sustainable bull run, then the dollar index has to go down. Alright, now let's come back to today's dollar index chart. We can see that the dollar is still consolidating in this tight converging triangle pattern. This is the typical pattern that tells us the dollar is ready for the next big move. If the dollar breaks the triangle pattern and goes lower showing some dollar weakness, that could send a positive signal to the stock market. However, if the dollar breaks the triangle pattern and goes higher, then the stock market will most likely finish the hope stage and enter the crisis stage. As long as the dollar index stays within this triangle, it shows us the stock market is not in a fully convinced bull market yet. The bond market and the dollar index are both telling us we're still in a bear market. I will continue watching these two markets closely and keep you guys updated. Make sure you subscribe so you will not miss out anything. Alright, here are some updates on gold. I will show two different charts on gold. One is on lower time frame 4-hour chart, and another one is on a higher time frame monthly chart. Let's start with the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart looks very bullish. Gold has been really strong recently. We broke out from this closed triangle pattern about 2 weeks ago. This is the typical textbook breakout you want to see. A large candle bar with volume spikes. After the breakout, gold formed a small descending triangle pattern. What we want to see is that the gold has to break from this descending triangle pattern and go up. If we extend the support line, as long as the gold price stays above this line, it's safe to add more positions. Cool! Now let's take a look at the monthly chart. The reason I want to show you the monthly chart is that I want to show you an indicator called a Keltner channel. Keltner channel is one of my favorite indicators to help me visualize the trend and also at the same time show me the overbought and oversold conditions in the market. So on the monthly chart, we can see that the gold had a parabolic move since last year. The momentum was pretty strong. It broke through the upper band of the Keltner channel, and that is an overbought signal. Gold price will probably have a minor correction in the near future. But that is definitely not a sell signal for gold because gold is clearly in an uptrend and the current economic environment is very bullish for gold. That means if you don't have a gold in your portfolio yet or want to add more positions, there will be a better price for it in a month or two. Last but not least, I want to make a quick update on Bitcoin too. This is the Bitcoin weekly chart. Since 2017, Bitcoin has formed this closed triangle pattern and been trading within this triangle. Why is this important? Because it shows us where the major buyers and the major sellers are. So most likely, we're going to see a drop on Bitcoin and test the support level of this triangle. But from the long-term perspective, I'm definitely bullish on Bitcoin. Especially a few weeks ago, I was really excited to see one of my idols and role models, Paul Tudor Jones, bought a significant amount of Bitcoin. I would like to see Bitcoin bounce within this triangle pattern for a while and then have a strong breakout out of the upper resistance level. That would be a great buy signal. Alright, that will be the update for today. I will definitely keep you guys updated whenever there's any important development in the market. If you are new to this channel, my name is Vic. I make videos every week to share some of my thoughts on what is going on in the financial market. And also, what are the trade ideas or investment opportunities that you should pay attention to in the market. If you are interested in the world of finance and the business, and find my video have been valuable to you, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you guys soon.